I'm gonna install a pair of LED bulbs on this 2008 Range Rover Sport. So I thought it might be a good opportunity to show you how these headlight assemblies come off if you need to change any bulbs and kind of what they do. So naturally the first thing you do is you unlock the card and pop the front hood open. We're gonna remove the front grille quick. So first thing we're gonna do is there's 4 latches we're gonna loosen up. And now we just remove the whole grille. To do that, you grab a hold of the grille in this area here. Don't pull in the center. This area here, and give it a yank. So these low detented features which engage in little holes over there, they kind of give away and the whole thing comes off. On this model, and I'm really not sure about other model years, but on this model there's a couple of metal tabs you just pull up, and sometimes they kind of stubborn. You have to kind of pry them up with a screwdriver. There we go. And next, what you do is you make sure that they line up with a couple of tabs in here. They're kind of hard to see, but we're gonna use a flashlight. So that's that round shape in there. Kind of line it up and pull back so it's loose. Do the same thing here. Pull back. So to completely remove it, make sure it's pulled away from those little tabs, and you lift up a little bit and kind of work it out just like that. And then after it's out, just unplug the electrical. There's a little tab here, you push down on it and wiggle it out. Yeah, never pull on those wires. You're gonna have a bad day. This is the US version, United States version of the headlight assembly, and it might be different from the European version, but basically on this one you get the high beam here, your headlight, your turn signal slash night indicator light, sight indicator light, and there's another white indicator light. I think on the US, on the Euro version, you also have a turn indicator light or something like that. In the back, you have these removable covers which keeps water and dust out. So you just twist and turn, and you can kind of see what's going on in there. This is the H7 bulb I'm going to replace. This guy is a special high voltage xenon bulb. It also has a low motorized self-leveling system here. That's why these headlight assemblies are so expensive. Some of these special electronics and drivers. And this guy, when you remove the cover, these two are the same. When you remove the cover, you can see where the little side marker barbs are, and you just basically, on those, just basically grasp the little tab and you just pull it out like this. So deep in there in that well, that's where the H7 high beam bulb resides and lives in. So you just grasp this long plastic tab here and twist it a little bit counterclockwise and just pull it out carefully. And there is the bulb. Now if you want to save these bulbs for later, never touch the glass part, just pull them out. Hello. A little stubborn. Also, before you start changing these bulbs, don't turn on the bulb and get it hot. So it's basically what they look like, and they are indexed with these little tabs for idiot-proof installation. Install this have to be oriented with the tabs lined up and centered on the screws, and the way to tell is to insert it, and it can be inserted two ways, so we'll push it in place, and first we'll match to make sure that those tabs line up with the screw heads. You can tell when it's backwards because one of the tabs not gonna line up with the screw. This one is the proper orientation. So I'm gonna fish it in there so those tabs are under the screw head. Push it in, carefully turn it. Alright, here we go. Let's kind of line up those tabs so they're in line with the screws. Now when the bulb is in place, all you have to do is put the cover back on and turn it until it clicks into place. Feels good. Now this scary looking bulb here is your regular low beam headlight. And, to remove it, you twist, and that's gonna disconnect this guy. Lift carefully. There's a couple of wire clips. You reach in there and you unclip them one by one, and then you just carefully lift out the bulb like so. So that's the special bulb. Don't touch anywhere. It's very hot and fingerprints shorten its life, but basically if it's burnt out, you just have to buy an expensive bulb. They're about what, $60 each, so not cheap. But anyway, it is what it is. To replace it, you carefully line it up, push it back in place. So there's a notch and a low bag looking thing it lines up with, and you take the wired clip and you just set them back in place and make sure they seated right and the bulb is in there correctly. What are you doing? My little friend showed up. What you doing? So now we're gonna take this, and those little legs line up with that opening. We'll set it in. And carefully press down on it. right there. Don't force it. Press down on it, lock it by twisting it clockwise. There you go. Make sure it's set in there right, so it doesn't just slip back out. After everything is back in place, take the large dust cover, set it on there and twist and make sure it's locked in place. Cool, that's easy. I'm going to show you really quick how to get to this bulb here. That's for the turn signal, and it's actually a double filament bulb, meaning it has dual purpose. When you turn on your headlights, it comes on, and also it acts like a turn signal. So this sliding metal part should come out, and you pull it all the way out, and you twist counterclockwise, pull, and there is the bulb. And the contact for the bulb is in the housing, so you're not gonna see wires or pull out wires. And this bulb pulls out, so there's the two filaments in there. And this is amber because the lens is clear, so the bulb itself is colored. And to push it back, you line up the notches. Twist until it's locked, and just push this guy back. It's actually pretty easy to do. And this slider here, it has some detents, and this is what holds the entire headlight assembly in place, and bolt ends here. And this is the hole which has to line up when removing or reinstalling the unit. And when it's locked in place, it gets pushed down, and that's the shape which locks it onto the peg. So, of course, that can be easily misaligned, so you have to kind of make sure that both of these holes are lined up for installation. So when you're ready to reinstall the headlight, just make sure that all the covers are back in place, locked, and the holes are lined up. And these locking features. Now you just plug that plug back in. Gotta make sure that it's pushed on there all the way. You might even hear a click. Just line up the pegs, push them in there like you mean it, and while you're pressing on it, you press these down, and it's done. That's it. Alright, I reassembled both headlights, they're in place. locked in solid. One last quick check. Make sure the high beams are working. They are. Awesome. It's time to reinstall the grille. So on the grille there is these little detented pegs which engage these shapes down here. You line it up, push it in place until it clicks, and then you press these in place until they're locked in. And that's it. That was easy. Thanks for watching.